Hey y'all, it's Christy from Teadoddles, and today I am starting what I'm calling Maker Friday, and this will be a day when I will share maker tips or just show you kind of what I've been working on or talk about making things, that kind of thing. Mostly maker tips, maker help, what did I say? Maybe some motivation, that kind of thing, maker motivation type of stuff. I was doing motivational Mondays. I'm doing my blog post on Mondays now, so I think I'm going to just do this because, and we'll see how it goes, okay? But first, I'd like to say welcome new subscribers, welcome back subscribers. I'm happy to have you here with me in my maker shenanigans. I do like to do the sewing things, the yarny things, and the DIY things. So if you like to make things, you might like it here. All right. Today, on Fridays, I'm usually home and off. And I do some housework and then I sew or make or whatever I'm doing. Okay. Occasionally I have other things I have to do or plans or what have you, or I might be out of town. But a lot of times I'm just here at the house doing things. And y'all really can't even notice this, but I put mascara on my eyelashes so my eyes wouldn't look so tired maybe. And I feel like one of them's longer than the other one, but we're not getting distracted by those kind of things. So, first, I'm going to show you some things that'll be coming up in the shop soon. Hold on just a second. Sneezing. All right. We had a storm come through today, and wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, like the one that was Tuesday. So that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to show you some things coming up in the shop. I should have some of this up this weekend sometime, so just keep an eye out. I got these cute little Valentine mini maker bags coming up. These are almost done. Gotta do top stitching and drawstrings. Got this fun little plaid. This is like a linen. This is a really nice fabric actually on the inside. I put on there. It's a little heavier than what I usually put in there. I've got like 6 of those. And then I've got a couple, I think I've got 3 of these. This was a fabric I used. Sorry, this thing I'm going to show you is getting in the way. For a mini maker month one year. But it's coffee cups and it has little hearts on it and stuff. And it has the silver part, it has some silver shiny stuff on it. And then these are the coffee beans at the top. And it has this print on the inside is actually about coffee too. So I have 3 of those. Now these will be up before the other one, and I'll have some. I'm going to put some of those seatbelt covers in there. I did a video for that Wednesday. These are going to be bigger bags, and I really like how this is a cotton I've had. It's a sateen cotton, but it's heavier weight. And I have this lilac colored corduroy that I'm pairing it with. So these are going to be, I'm going to have some that are totes, like my Mega Maker totes, and then I'm going to have some with a zippered top, which would be like my traveling maker bag. So this will be bigger bags. I was sticking with the pink and purpley theme, but trying not to make it too Valentine-y. So it could be used all the time. I really like this print, so I have several like that. I do have some that this will be a zippered tote, and then I have some that's just the full print that will be the Mega Maker bags. I don't know what I'm putting on the inside of them yet, so I'm just starting that. So I've got that print, and then I also have this print, which I also love. So those will be the 2. Those will be larger bags. They take me a little longer to finish because I've got to quilt the outside and put them all together and do all that good stuff. But so that's what's coming up in the shop. Hold on one more time. I know it doesn't. It just flips right to the next scene for y'all. But I feel the need to say that. I guess I could stop it and not say anything, but I feel the need to say something. Even though, because for me, it's a few minutes or so, and then for y'all, it's just like right to the next thing, and I don't know. I've never been able to practice that. But today, what I wanted to talk about maker related is fabric scraps, because I accumulate a lot of them as I do a lot of sewing. Oh, this is the bag I usually fill up, and then I have to separate things out because I have gotten in the habit of making scrap bags to sell on my Etsy shop. I think I've only got 2 left in my Etsy shop currently. And since I do a lot of corners, well, I used to have more. I've sold a bunch of those because since when I had the club, like the 2-inch corners I'd cut out to make the box bottom, I had a ton of those. I don't accumulate quite as many as I used to, but I still have a bunch. So I have this bag. I even have some felt. This is felt leftovers from where I made that spring wreath thing that I showed y'all. I kept the bigger pieces and see, like, I feel like I could get something out of this because I do want to do some more felt work. So I decided to keep the pieces I thought I could use. So what I do, I just throw all leftovers in this bag. And then when it gets full and it's time to separate them out, I separate them out into, like, this pile would be felt that I need to put with any other felt or wherever I'm going to put it to work on a project or whatever I'm going to do. I have a little bit more in here from different things. Oh, well, no, I think all of this is from that project. But I have some other felt I had put aside to do felt projects. I just got to remember where I put it at. But, and so I'll put it in. I like to do it on my table. This is my drafting table here. And, I'm going to turn it around and show you my process a little bit more so you can kind of see. I like to do it on my cutting mat because I can measure things. Because with my cotton, I'm looking for usually it's in strips or some, like the squares or whatever. So I know what size it is because I have bins over there, or I actually have little plastic shoe boxes. Like, that's what they call them. Because you can order packs of them off of Walmart or Amazon, and I have them labeled 3-inch plus, 2-inch plus, and I even have a 1-inch plus one. And then I have do I have a 4-inch plus? I think I do have a 4-inch plus, and then once it gets past 5 inches, it gets put somewhere else. If it's big enough for a fat quarter, I'll put it with my other fat quarters on my shelf. If it's big enough, like say maybe it's even half a yard, it'll go on my little folded shelf. But then I have a bin that's just bigger watches if it's kind of random. So, and on my squares, well, mostly just my 3-inch and my 2-inch squares, because I get the most of those because of the bags I make. I have a bin just for squares. Because a lot of times I'll put a bag of squares, 3-inch squares or 2-inch squares on Etsy and sell it. Or maybe this year I'll get to make some quilt tops out of it. We'll see. That was my intent, but it got to be so much that's why I started selling it on Etsy. It's like I can't possibly make it through all this fabric scraps in my lifetime. So they're pretty full right now. So I'm going to separate this out, and then I'm going to have to go through it and make me some bags for Etsy. So I'm going to turn the camera around so y'all can see my mat and just kind of see what I do. I thought this would be helpful for people who sew a lot and have a lot of scraps, you know. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but this is what I do, okay? So I'm going to turn you all around, and I'll see you in just a second. All right, here we are. We're looking at my mat, and I already have a stack over here for my felt, and then sometimes I have leftovers that are, because I do sew clothing and stuff, sometimes I have leftovers that are knit, and sometimes I have leftovers that are heavier weight, like the corduroy, for example, that I use for the bottom of my bags. So I'll put that in a different pile. I only combined cottons together, no matter what the print is, and I do it that way. So what I'll do is just start at the top, like this piece here. This is probably half a yard. Well, that's not quite half a yard, but it is a larger piece, so it's something I could do for other things. So this is how I fold it. It's folded. All right. That's the width of the fabric. I fold it in half once, which would be kind of like it usually comes off the when I folded on my cards, because I use comic book cards to fold up my big yardage, and this is how I do that. I think I did a video about that before, but I don't remember for sure. But what I do is fold that in half again, and then I just fold it. This is just approximate, about 4 inches or so. I'm basing it on matching some fat quarters I have over there, right? So I just kind of fold it up like that, so I can put it on my fat quarter shelf. And that'll go over there, because it's bigger than a fat quarter, but smaller than half a yard. So, this, like when I get strips like this, so when I say 3 inch plus, 2 inch plus, whatever, even though this has the selvage edge on it, I would still use this for something. So this is 2 inches plus, because it's not quite 3 inches, but it's more than 2 inches. So it would still go in my 2 inch plus. And that's the way I determine that. And then I'll start me a little stacks across here to do that, because then I have this one. This is 5 inches, so this goes all the way on the end over here. And that's how I do this. And then I have some leftovers minky from cutting out for my seatbelt covers, and these are not the size I need. So this is just going to pile up here, because it's a textured fabric, or heavyweight fabric, we'll put it this way. All right, now these are longer, but they are 3 inches, definitely 3 inches. So this is where I cut some the bands for the top of my bags to go in the shop. I'll get words out in a minute. And then I have a bunch of 2 inch squares left over, and I'll put this, I'll move this out of the way. I'll put it above my 2 inch pile like that. And that's how I do it. It's nothing complicated, and I'm not going to sit here and do all of this with you. So this is a big piece. So this obviously, but it's not, these are actually, well, no, this is, okay, so this is a bigger piece like this, but this will go in my 5 inch or more pile. It's not fat quarter sized, because a fat quarter is 18 by 21. So it's going to just go in this 5 inch plus pile. And that's what I do. I go through it just like that. There's 2 more like that should go over there. And there's my 3 inch squares for that. And then I have, like, a lot of these times, because of the sides of my bags, I'll have these folded edges like this, which always goes in my 5 inch pile. But these are really great. I have a bunch in there that I've sewn together from past mini maker clubs, and I planned on making a quilt out of them, and they're just good for that kind of thing, or to cut into other things. So sometimes I run across, I was trying to see if I ran across anything like that. These are all strips. That's definitely 3 inch. Okay, so now this piece, you see how long it is? So if it's a length that I could use for a banding top, because this is definitely some extra banding tops, probably where I cut them. It's 3 inches wide. That's the size for my banding top. So this goes in a different bin, because I use it specifically for something. So that gets laid to the side. And so I think I have a few of these, actually. I do over here. And so I can use it for banding for something else. So when I'm looking for banding for the tops of my bags, my drawstring bags, I always go to that bin first and see if there's something that matches or will coordinate with it. It really just depends on if I have, so here's my 4 inch pile started. That one is definitely 5. If I have something that'll go with it, especially my mini makers, I will just pick from there. It just depends on if I have enough for the number of bags I want to make, if that makes any sense. So here's some of those left over. Now this is the size I cut for bag bottoms. So this will also go in my bins for bag parts. That's what I call it. Bag parts. So I have a lot in here, and I have a lot to do, but I just want to kind of give y'all an idea of how I do this. I just tend to throw stuff into this bag until it's time to separate out. And my bins are pretty full over there, so I'm going to have to go through a bunch of stuff and pack up stuff, which is something I'll be doing. I guess I'll do that tomorrow, work on this some so I can get it cleared up, because sometimes it gets too much and then I need to stop and clean and sort things out so that I can think again and get my maker mojo going. So I hope y'all found this tip useful, and I will see y'all in the next video. So y'all remember to have a life lived creatively. Bye.